Hello, High Desert families. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video as we try to explain what your puppy packet will look like, what you have in there, what you actually already have available to you to look up and go through if you're interested before you pick up your puppy on our Google Drive that you're a part of. And just to get the business out of the way so that we can just hang out with you when you come to pick up your sweet baby. So soon. We can feel that the end is coming near for us, which is bittersweet, but just makes us excited for you all to have your puppy. So I'm going to go through just what's in our packet. I ended up putting a lot of information in here just because I know some people love a ton of information, some people want things minimal, and so there's prioritized stuff on top, but it's at least there for you as a resource if you're the type of person that wants extra stuff and just resource to go through in hand, on paper, in one file. So that was my intention. I'm going to go through what it is and so that you know kind of what's there. So the first thing that you're going to get is your health record of your puppy. That will include our schedule. This one's a blank one, but it will have our medical history. Really, that's just been our first vet visit. No one really had issues. Our deworming schedule that we've done the first 8 weeks, and then the first vaccinations, which you will also have just stuck in here. We had like a vet checklist and a signed sheet with your microchip vaccine stickers all in one place. And so that you'll be easy to just grab that. That's what you will need for your first vet visit. You will get a copy of your signed contract on paper. That also includes your invoice for your puppy so that you have a record of what you paid us. In this other little, I was hoping that the health stuff would fit in here. Of course it didn't, but I have like these two little matching folders that you'll get. In this little one, I've included a little bag with your microchip ID tag and then your microchip stickers. They always come with a bunch of stickers that you can put onto paperwork if you need it. And so that's what's in this little bag, labeled for your pup. And that's kind of paperwork included, so I wanted to get it all in one place. Then you will also get a copy of your GANA certification. And that is because all of our dogs, all of these dogs, golden doodles, have been registered with GANA. And so that's a copy of your certification. We will have it filled out so that it has a transfer of ownership to you. You will get a copy of your microchip information that you sent us, and then along with that, you will have to call the microchip company and finalize your information with them, give them the final sign off in your with your record, and then there's some other questions I guess they need to ask you still that transfers your pup from our vet to you. So that will be in there. That's kind of the only thing. There's two things I guess that you need to do before your first vet visit. I would do the microchip right away. I would also, this is our copy of our agreement from Trupanion. The key on this is the code that gives you a discount. Breeders that are a part of their membership, it doesn't like link me to you in any way or us as a program. It's your own insurance for your puppy, but this gives you the first 30 days free of pet insurance to decide if you want to keep it, use it. I would recommend doing it. It's free. 30 days of insurance. It would cover any of those, like, unvaccinated dogs are more likely to get things, carry things. So just in case, you would have that. So I would sign that for this. You need to do that within 24 hours of getting your puppy, and we'll have emailed this to you ahead of time as well. So call the microchip, call insurance, and then have those vet records ready for your first vet visit that you're going to do. And then this is kind of, again, overkill a little bit, but I really just want to be as helpful as we can. And so I printed off a few what we call go home guides. So the one that has our logo on it that says puppy go home instructions is written in our words of just some things. I would say that's the first thing you want to read through to make sure you understand why and what we're looking for, if your dog, or why we should prevent from parvo, what you're looking for just in case, to make sure you can stay away from those parasites, and what to worry about if you see this. So there's some notes in there about that, about crate training, about potty training, how to keep your dog from chewing, socialization, food and water information, and then grooming notes. So little tidbits, not a full like how-to guide, just information from us that we would share if you were to ask us the questions. So we're trying to get that to you ahead of time, be a little more proactive. I need to slow down. And then in the back of this, with again our logo, is our daily schedule. This is what the puppies have been doing this week, essentially. You're going to want to transition as close to this as possible, just for transition's sake, and then move your puppy to the schedule that works best with your lifestyle, obviously, and how they mold into fitting into that. It's not you having to totally adjust for your puppy. They want to fit into your lifestyle for you and your sake, but that transition is really important. So first 3 days, transition them in. So this is what I would say you should read bringing your puppy home. Read this the first night, if not before you pick up your puppy. Again, it's on your Google Drive that you can have access to right now. Then we have some handouts that 2 of the main companies that we have used for training curriculum, and then training post 8 weeks are good resources for. So this guide that doesn't have our logo on it also says New Puppy Care Handout, is just some more information from the Empowered Breeder, which is the curriculum and then the software that we use. You'll also have a printed out, like, here's the first 8 weeks of your puppy. I will explain that in a second. But the thing to note with this paperwork, it has some of the same notes of crates, kennels, etc. But there's a few things in the back of this that we do that we would say you should continue. One of those is the handling exercises. This is the 10-step we've showed in quite a few videos that we've started at, age 1 week all the way up. What you can do to handle and desensitize your puppy, make sure that they're good with finger touches, bellies, ears, toenails, those kind of things. So do this 10-step. You want to continue to do that. And then pull it up, like socialization guide. This is like, hey, we did this for 8 weeks. Here's some ideas of how you can continue to socialize your puppy. In some ways it's a checklist. If you can do this, you're gonna it's a guide to help you with what we've kind of started that groundwork for in socialization, in desensitizing with sounds and handling, things that you want to get them acquainted with so that they're not reacting the first time they see a lawnmower, blow dryer, all the things in the future. So that's a little guide for you. And then we use the puppy recall. Rather than using names a ton, we have used puppy. You've seen probably that in a lot of videos, to call your puppy to you. That isn't just like a come here guide for them. It is a, hey, I need you to get out of the street. So I'm going to use that puppy in that moment. It's more of an emergency, like, come to me, you need to know now. So it will be something you want to continue to acclimate them to with you as they trust you. And as they learn, like, that's something I still need to come to right away. Pull them out of its emergency situation, get them to come to you to then work on the next training, whatever that looks like. So that kind of explains where that comes from. I would continue to do that in your training if you can. And then there's some treat guide recommendations in here. We have not really used treats except for the last week with the puppies in their training and in their manding. But as you transition to, like, if that's something you want to continue to do or do more of, that's an idea of how you can ask them to obey you without treats and have it be a slow progression to then using treats for your obedience training. So that's the, again, Empowered Breeder booklet. And then we've also included This is from Baxter and Bella. It's what it says on here is the survival guide of your first like few weeks with your puppy. So again, that's just house training, prevention, parenting. It's just a guide that we felt like was helpful. Like, why not? We'll conclude it. We've purchased this curriculum. And then there's, if you're interested in the Baxter and Bella, I did include like a curriculum roadmap is what they call it. Even though there's a checklist that kind of is included of like what's in their program, I felt like the guide and roadmap was really helpful to see some benchmarks, whether you're using their training or any training, that you could be hitting along your training mark. So the first week together, this is some of the things I should be like aiming for. So that's why I included that, not to push this type of training on you, but to give you a guide as you do whatever training of what we feel like would be really helpful goals. So there's 2 items in here that are kind of safety items. This one that says human food safety items that you should avoid, that also like common things that people would say you can or can't have this with dogs. It also explains in this guide that I found what kind of cheese you can actually, they can actually eat, but no, they should never eat almonds. So if you're like not sure about all of those things, this was helpful. I felt like it's an AKC document. I've linked where you can find that online. Same thing with essential oils. If you're an oil user, that tends to be something that sneaks up on dogs with allergies and reactions, and is a lot more common this day and age. And so that, and then things to look for. Again, like what does a reaction look like from a toxin, whatever it is. So that's just helpful, I feel like, to have in your back pocket. If something were to happen, at least there's a place you can like run to with a guide to look for. And then the last guide type thing is from Puppy Culture. This is the other curriculum we've been using alongside the Empowered Breeder, like pre-8-week curriculum. And this is really helpful. This actually comes from a whole booklet that they put out. That's part of our like pack that we bought of training and videos and all of that. But there's an exercise guide. And one of the things that we've added to our extended warranty includes that dogs shouldn't be like running like for exercise on pavement. And this will explain why. This is kind of helps you understand, like for an 8 to 12 week old puppy, for 12 to 16 weeks, like how much exercise should your dog be getting, and how much is actually what I feel like I wouldn't have known as a new dog owner more a while back, like what jumping shouldn't be done, how much is too far for hikes and runs and trails. So that's why I included this, just part of the guide. You can actually find this on Amazon if you're interested in the whole packet. It is a really helpful pamphlet. We just haven't included them fully in our packets yet. So that is a lot of the printed and resource information and tools that I found and got. The last thing I don't have printed out for everyone yet is the, I mentioned our puppy wellness first 8 weeks. The software that we decided to use spits out a guide of, hey, this is your puppy, the first 8 weeks of your puppy. What did we desensitize it with? How did they react to the scents that we used for ENS and ESI? What did that look like for them? How did they react? It gives you really like all the information that we've done, that we've inputted in the program, will come out. It includes their temperament testing, their first vet visit, all in one place. So that's one of the big reasons that we went with a software, is because those forms and files were already developed that we could jump in on. So that will be included as well. You can kind of keep that with your vet record, health record section. It will be right in the beginning with this guy. And then there's 2 more things in your packet. One is a little more explanation on Pawtree, and this is from Pawtree, just why we use it and some of the options that they have, their story that we haven't fully explained, that we had information for there. And then I mentioned your Trupanion offer for the first 30 days of pet insurance. I've included the information that they sent us just about their pet insurance and like the breakdown of what's covered, what's not. They send us all this information as breeders for our pet families. So that is your paperwork. It's a lot of information. That's why I wanted to go over it here and not individually with everyone as they're picking up. I want you to just be able to snuggle and have time with your puppy. It's already been 15 minutes. Then the rest of what's in here is not as important to go over on the video, but a couple things I would highlight. You've got clean collars that are the same size and original color of your collar because they're clean. So we might put those on and might wait. There's a couple scent items. There's a blanket that will kind of go folded into this. And then I've got a couple toys that I purposely purchased that we use throughout our curriculum because now they've been washed, they're clean, but they smell like the puppy, smell like the litter, smell like our house because they've been used and washed a few times through our curriculum system. So these will smell like your puppy and their litter. And so those are great items to put in their crate when I talk about crate training or just as a comfort. These two things and their blankie. So those are all scented with the litter. You have a few new toys and items. You've got your first little bag of food. You've got some treats that have our logo on them. How sweet is that? There's a few surprises in here that I won't spoil. If you want to use treats right away, these ones that have our logo and the paw tree are easy to break up for the puppies. So that's like one of these is a training session in lots of little pieces. Those are what I would use and only use because it's the same food, ingredients. For the first few days, I wouldn't use any other treats just as they adjust to your home. So that's why I wanted to put these in there. You have a little dog food measuring cup and your clicker if you want to use a clicker that we've started training with. These are pellets that are for the litter. Again, same scent as the litter boxes they've been using, so hopefully they'll associate it quickly as the place that they should go potty. So if you use a litter box inside or wherever you want them to potty outside, you can use a little bit of this at a time to sprinkle in your outdoor area. Again, it will smell like their litter box, so they should know that that would where they go potty. I mean, and you don't have to even have these to have your puppy know every time you bring them and you say go potty or whatever you decide is your trigger word, that that's where they go, and just make them stay in that area until they've gone to the bathroom, after they wake up, after they eat, etc. There's some bully sticks in here, or just like the chews to get them home and traveling. Then, okay, I'm just kind of showing you a lot. This is shampoo that we've already used with the puppies. I just gave you a little sample. It's the paw tree that we order from them. But since I know that they're not reacting to it and have used it, I wanted to include a little bit of that. And then we've got our other logoed item is a little poop bag dispenser. So you have those for the way home or wherever you're going, along with a water bowl. This is pop out. These are really nice for traveling or just to keep in your car. And then I mentioned your first food, and there's a couple other little toys in there. So that's what you have in your go home bags and all of your paperwork. Thank you for watching and spending the time on this. And if you have any questions, we would love to talk to you still when we meet you to have your delivery puppy, have you pick up your puppy, and go over anything then. Or you can email me ahead of time. So thanks again, and we'll see you soon. Bye.